that one off, so now he's trying to find it. He's not just resting on what he has, and this is what you need. Takes down Uzi. You need the confidence when you're in first place. You're not holding on to your lead. You're pushing it. You're putting the pressure on those around you to jump up and take over control of this tournament. Make everyone put eyes on you and feel the pressure, and Class is not feeling the pressure here. He is putting it on everyone else with a big elimination, and now look at the loadout difference, Monster.
And more importantly, he picked up the launch pad there, but it's not going to be enough. Dwal's going to walk right through him, from right underneath his feet, breaks into the box. Names that are still here, though. Bugha has high ground, battling it out with Keox. Keox, who has the mythic loadout, though. He does have the shockwave from Kit. You can see it coming into play right there. On the other side, Calc making his way to another endgame as well. I see AJ, Coop still in this game, too. This is his opportunity. Only 2 points separates himself from second place to first place. Can Coop do it? He already has an Elim this time around, and he's got just enough loot to continue to inch his way forwards. But he's going to need something big here. He's going to need the impact elimination to keep him in the game, because he's even running out of medium bullets as well.
But this is where Coop shines. I said it last game. When things get scrappy and he drops down with that shotgun in hand, you can never count him out. We saw him get, what, Monster? 3 eliminations on less than 10 health after all the siphons. He was hitting shots the millisecond he needed to survive, and that's what I expect him to do here. Coop on the back foot now, has the splash. He's going to get them off, but what does he do next? How does he find the elimination he needs? There's a lot of players around him right now who will be running shambles as well. He's going to hit the crash pad and try and find something. Pushes him nice and far forward, but where is this player lurking? Where is his elimination that he so sorely needs? He's trying to find them, and there they are. They're behind him. He finds it onto Tabs. Tabs falls here, and Coop gets a little bit of the mats he needs, but no, he only gets 1 extra build out of it left to his name now, but Coop is pushing forward. He's getting towards those big placements, Monster, at 17 players alive.
Not only that, though, the zone favored him when he needed it most there, swinging right back in his direction. So there you have it. Coop's still in this game. Don't count him out just yet. On the other side, though, Crunchy now down to 7 builds, has to do something massive in the low ground. He's looking for any kind of frag he can find. This could be his big opportunity here to find the impact that he needs. On the high ground, though, Keox is still doing something big. And there you have it, Ozzy. You called it. Coop still making things work with nothing in the inventory. Not on the low ground. Someone's right in front of him. He actually gets to the cone. He's just trying to stay alive now. Any placement matters. Remember, he's in first at the moment.
He's jumped up into first. Eyes are on him now, and Coop needs to hold on to the pressure. Can he deal with it? Haven't seen him in this first place position so far this tournament, but he's doing so well. The white tag from behind has to drop back. He's pinned between this player and zone, but no, he can go forward. And there's another player. He misses his shotgun shot, and no, the first one we've seen him miss, and he needed it so badly. But Coop having a phenomenal performance again, going down to Crims. Crunchy on the bottom ground. We saw Sundown talk about it yesterday. Does he like it, Crunchy? Does he like it smooth? Let's see it. He's going forward. He's pushing in, trying to find his way around the corner. 27 points, no builds, 4 eliminations. I saw a big game using that harpoon to push forward. Wraps around, takes down Bugha. He gets the elimination. Bugha falls here, which is a big game for him as well. And Crims, the double elimination. Back-to-back dubs falls too. So we're going to have such a tight top 10 as Crunchy wants to push his way and cement it higher. The harpoon coming in clutch right now to get him forward. And there's a bunch of loot there. I believe Keox is still on the high ground with the shockwave launcher. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind. Can these players win? Can they overcome the shockwave launchers? We've seen it be so devastating. It's now Rockets dropping out too. Crunchy on the low ground has everything against him, but he's holding it strong. Still has builds left to his name. Has 4 left, 6 eliminations. Keox goes back up with the shockwave launcher. Crunchy scrambling, jumping in and out of zone, trying to find the angle. The AR comes out and no, he falls. Keox in zone gets the siphon, which could be enough to keep him in it. Nanolight on the high ground. The silent assassin in the back pocket trying to close this one out, and Keox wins it in the heel off, and Nanolight can't get back into Storm. And we see 22 points with a 6th elimination win. He got 20 of his 22 points in 1 game, Monster.
That's the kind of win that you need right there to throw you back into the conversation, back into the game. He took the full-on AR battle, standing toe-to-toe in the zone at his own demise there from the shockwave. Either way, though, we're going to send it over to the table, to the boys at the main desk to break it all down. Zeke, take it away.
Thank you so much, Monster. Keox there, finding himself the victory royale. And boys, we're seeing the caddy launcher, we're seeing these mythic weapons finally in play, equals victory royale. It's happening.
A story is all of time. I mean, we've seen it pretty much every single time throughout the heats and until now. It doesn't matter whether it's the person who started with the caddy launcher, with Kit Shockwave launcher, or not. If you pick it up, you have a big advantage going into that final 1v1.
Absolutely. The question is, for the people who didn't have it, how does the overall standings look now? It is Coop all the way at the top spot. In first after that dominant survival at the low ground. No wins, but look at those eliminations resulting in 45 points.
And the thing I want to note about Coop at the top is he stays holding on to that 10 average placement that Sundown in the previous standings said that he needed to maintain. There is a big, scary moment for him, though. If he falls in any of these, that is the opportunity for someone to rise up. And Blake did just that in the last game, getting right back up into fighting chances.
And this is what happened before. I think in almost every competition Coop has been in, he's had a top spot, third or first, but then faltered and tripped. So he has to break the pattern, break the curse, hold first, and then win out for the whole day.
And where will any of these other guys end up falling? On the second page, there's still some big sleepers. Kaz, who's been playing very well, has fallen all the way to 11th. Dubs as well, starting to rise up. Same with P-God, who has had 9 eliminations in these games, so definitely feeling the magic that he's used to, but there is a big impact of these guys who potentially could rise hugely in the standings, like we just saw from Keox. That is a rise in thousands of dollars potentially if you end within that top 5.
And that's what we saw in EU, right? Like, we knew Tayson was going to walk away with the victory, but when you're looking at that big breakdown in placement, the prize money that you could walk away with, you're trying to hit those top spots, right? Like, that's what these guys have to do. They have to come out swinging. They have 2 games left. They need to make the performances that will literally shape history and make it their own, because right now, it's make or break time.
Yeah, a lot of people have made their performance stand out now in game number 4. We saw Crims take out the first place slot Coop in that last game near low ground. Now he's sitting in the top 30. Very similar for a lot of players. They have their pedestal now to boost off of and then shoot for the top 10, shoot for number 1. It is still anyone's game.
And that was actually the second game in a row that Crims has played very well in towards these end games. There is some serious moves being made by other players that we might not have necessarily seen. We saw him definitely in both of the last end games. We'll have to see if he can continue it.
That's right. I mean, as we kind of break some of this down, we've got 2 games left. There's a lot of these power shifts happening, a lot of players making moves, others falling. I mean, again, as people are eliminated, that's it, right? They have to wait to the next round to earn more points while others are allowed to kind of step forward. But Keox, I mean, he made this game his own.
Yeah, let's just stop back and look at exactly how Keox won that last loot to boot. There's some nice shots all the way there in the mid-ground. Once you are loud and heard afterwards, you go all the way to height, start dropping down, mid-air, 70 damage tag to wrap that up on low ground with another quick shockwave up. Look at every single use. We're pausing on him to show you the decisions that he's making in fast reaction times, getting these shots down from long range, from beautiful moments and shots all the way outside the zone. They just connect for Keox.
In the final moments, too, the confidence to go for those AR shots at long range, to take out Crunchy and then Nanolite in the final seconds. That was brilliant from Keox, and he makes it work. Again, this opportunity that we keep harping on Zeke, its potential for thousands of dollars if he can make it work one more time.
Yeah, man, we've only got 2 games left. We can't stress this enough. For you guys watching at home, every time these players interact, it is going to dictate whether they are moving up or down the leaderboard, right? Again, if someone is eliminated, they have to wait. They have to sit there and think about what is like the mistakes they've made. With 1 game left after that, we're going to see some players rise. We're going to see more players fall. That is the story, and that's how this kind of just unfolds sometimes. You know, you hate to see it, but there's got to be winners and there's got to be losers.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
pointing at you,
I'm just,
Shia.
You're pointing at me. I thought you were grabbing for yourself. I got this. Listen, I'm stunned, right? Because I'm trying to overprocess and trying to figure out what's going to happen in the next game. Not even joking, because we're looking at Coop holding these down up top. We're looking at NA East being unpredictable once again. Usually we have a 1v1 near the top. That is not the case this time. It's close.
Look. Thank you for being very clear who you're talking to. Look, it's close, still at the top. I mean, Class, who just had that previous massive game, is still there. He's only within 3 points. So keep that in mind. 3 points is all it takes. Zeke.
Thank you guys for that hard throw. With that being said, we are getting ready to get into our next game on the day. So let's send it over to Monster D-Face and Aussie Antics to take us in.
We appreciate you so much, Zikamus Prime there, Balla TW, and of course Shayo Wager for the expertise and breakdown of where we stand right now, right here in the competition. But like you guys mentioned, the rising and falling, that's like the tide. It's like clockwork. These are things that are going to happen. And if this is a high tide for Coop or Class, they're going to run away with the competition here.
Yeah, high tide, and who's going to run into the drought, though, as well? Some people could have it. We saw it in EU. We saw a player rise up so high in Game 5 and then go down early Game 6 and have to watch it close out. So we get a far southeast zone, which I don't think we've seen too much of, and this is where I'm looking eyes on Caddy corners, where they can now take their time with those fights and really dictate who gets those powerful weapons. I'm also looking at players like Stretch and Booger. I talked about it yesterday when Stretch played his heat. He had really struggled games when they went north. As soon as zone started to pull south, he had some huge games. So we could see someone jump up out of nowhere who isn't a nobody. It's crazy how some of the biggest names of this finals aren't up there on the leaderboard, but they could be at any time. A 10 elimination win is 25 points. That is over half the person who's in first place right now. So some of those people who are a little bit lower on the leaderboard could come back at any time.
That's right. They can break their way into top 10 like you saw in the previous game. How it just happened like that. A 20-point swing is available to any one of our competitors, especially the veterans that have done it before on the biggest stages. And that's what leads us to the question, what is going to be shaping up right now? How is this going to all play out? Will Coop in Class and the others at the top, like Accept, Blake, Crunchy, DeRoller, be able to hold their leads? If they do, that's it. That's going to be the run. If they cannot, all of a sudden we are going to have a very interesting last and final game. This is Game 5, ladies and gents, and we're looking at Skittles right now. It looks like there's a little bit of a fight down here.
Yeah, and I think that player does have the Shockwave launcher, right? I saw that Shockwave launcher coming out, and that probably explains why Skittles is going so aggressive for this fight. Yes, he does have it, so Skittles wants this. He knows a player using rockets like that to disengage means they're weak. If he can chase this player down and get his hands on that Shockwave launcher, that's his potential for those 20-point games. That's his way to get back into this tournament. He's 28 points, not doing poorly, but a big game here will jump him up so high, and this player doesn't realize he's chased it. He doesn't think he's chased this hard. He thinks he's safe. He's stopping. He's eating things off the ground. He goes down. It's XNB. It's the banana specialist himself falling, and Skittles gets the elimination, and he's going to get his hands on that caddy loot. And I have to think, I don't know if XNB has been going caddy corners at all today, Monster, so people changing up their strategy in these final games to have those big point formats. So the players at the top, like Coop, like Class, need to be careful because people are changing the way they're playing.
And that's so massive because Skittles already has 2 eliminations, and he was in the top 10. So he's breaking his way up now. That puts him on par with DeRoller, who was also at 29 points. But now he has Mythic Kit loot, right? He has the best loot in the game for a solo setting. That's going to be huge here. It's going to help him play into this format and make so much more placement and find the frags that he's going to need to carry his way through that end game. That's so important to the storyline that's unfolding in front of us.
Yeah, well, we talk about the storyline, we're talking about protagonists and stuff. Keox, last game, he had his hands on the Kit's Mythic loot the first time, and what does he do? He gets 20 points. He got 2 points in his 3 games before that, and then he gets 20-point game. So it shows how important that loot is. We can't talk about it enough. Skittles having that in his hand, if he plays with it well, though. That's the issue. Do you have the experience with the Mythic loot? I saw it a lot in last